Hi, I'm Shoestring Jane. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things thrifty, frugal and money saving. And this week I thought I would address an issue that I have experienced myself, and that is just when you take your eye off the ball and you forget to be frugal, and the kind of things that can kind of create that situation where you fall off the frugal wagon, if you like. So for me, it has been spending so much time at the hospital with my dad, because he has now been in there for 3 weeks today. It's a long and frustrating process. I won't go into it again, but hopefully by next weekend he will be out. I think I say that all the time, but hopefully we will get him home in the not too distant future. But in the meantime, I am at the hospital most days. I try not to go every day. Sometimes I can get other members of the family to go, but a lot of the time I'm going. And because I'm spending so much time there, I'm trying to squeeze everything else into quite a small amount of time. Some things are just going by the wayside. But, you know, it's about priorities. Obviously, my dad is my top priority at the moment. But then, you know, you kind of get out of the groove, don't you, sometimes? And what I find is that I'm just tired. I'm really tired. And I think, like I said to Justin, I don't know why I'm so tired. Because, okay, I'm going and sitting with my dad and chatting at the hospital, but that doesn't expend a lot of energy. You would think it doesn't. I think what creates the sense of fatigue is the stress of it and just the frustration of it, really. And then trying to squeeze everything into a small amount of time the rest of the time. I think that must be what it is. So it's tricky, really. But what I found is happening. I am sliding back into old habits, things I haven't done really for years and years, since I first really got my frugal head on my shoulders and started, you know, really being careful with money. I'm doing things like, before I've woken up properly, I'm sitting in bed, got my phone out, scroll, and you get adverts popping up on social media that look really great, but actually, if you were wide awake, you'd realise they're just a load of rubbish from China. And I've gone onto eBay and had a look on eBay, or I've just been idly thinking about things I want for the house, or thinking, oh, it's really hot out there, I haven't got much in the way of summer clothing, and scrolling through and looking at stuff. And before I've even really fully got my head on, I've been spending money. So, you know, I can barely even think that I've done it late, and these things arrive through the post and I think, when did I do that? That was probably about 6:30 a.m. the other morning when I was lying in bed. I've also done it last thing at night. Scroll through the phone. A bad habit in itself. And idly buying stuff. And some of it is things that, you know, I want and would need. Some of it, I think, well, I don't need that right now. I could have a shop around. I could do a bit of a comparison, you know, have a think. Could I get this second hand? Could I get it cheaper? Do I really want it? Do I really need it? All of the things I say, this is what you need to do to get hold of your spending. I mean, flipping do it. I can't believe it, really. I can't believe that I've kind of allowed this to happen. But I know... Well, I know what's causing it, so really it's just a question of getting to grip. And the other thing I've been doing is on and off. I mean, I have quite a lot. I've been a bit better, certainly, after the first week. But the first week I was going in, buying a coffee. When I got to the hospital, there is a Costa there, and there's a Marks and Spencer's there, and there's little newsagents there as well. I was just buying a coffee there, and not even taking my own coffee cup. You know, I just didn't have my head together. I was in a bit of a panic, and not taking food. So I've got a lot better at that. Taking my water bottle, taking a coffee, actually making a coffee before I go and putting it in my cup, or taking a flask, taking some snacks, taking some lunch when I'm going to be there over lunchtime. So I've got a lot better at that. The other thing that took me ages to get a grip of was the fact that the parking, you know, it's not horrifically expensive, but if you're there all day, I mean, I think one day I was there and it cost me £8. Most of the time it seems to be around the £4.50 mark, but it all adds up, doesn't it, if you're there every day or every other day. And was to look in buying a pass, and so I did that finally, but I spent a lot more money than I needed to before I got my head round to doing that. And then realised I could actually get a 7-day pass for £14. So that doesn't matter how long you stay in the car park. I did actually get a ticket in the car park, which I have appealed because I've paid every time I've gone. There was a situation where Izzy came with me, stayed for an hour or two with me and Dad, and then went off and did some shopping. And then she came back and got me, and the car park didn't recognise that she had left. She paid before she went, didn't recognise that she'd left, and then didn't recognise that she came back, and then got us for the full amount of time, which the car hadn't been there all that time. So, well, they actually didn't get us for the full amount of time. It actually said we hadn't paid on the way out. So tried to give me a £70 parking ticket, £35 if you pay within 14 days. I think that's to panic you and stop you appealing, but I thought, no, sod that. I have a receipt to show that she actually paid on her way out, and I have a receipt to show she was actually in Home Bargains, which was just down the road. So, and obviously I haven't got anything to show she came back, but that's their problem, not mine. So I'm going to appeal that. So that's a bit annoying. But it just made me think of how little it really takes to throw me off track, you know, and I haven't been doing my budget, I haven't been tracking my spending. I've been buying easy food on the way home, you know, thinking I'll just get a few dinners in. I did show last week I got some yellow stickers from Waitrose, which were quite handy for the freezer. And when I went shopping this week, I actually went to see Dad early, went straight down to Asda, which was the nearest shop to the hospital, did a proper shop and a meal plan. So I've got better again this week. But, you know, for the first couple of weeks, I was useless. I literally have been thrown right off my stride. So it doesn't take much, does it? So it makes me appreciate really that busier people than me struggle to really do things like really watch their budget, plan a budget, meal plan, make sure they're using up all their leftovers, and, you know, go through their spending, track their spending and things like that. And it wasn't that long ago that I was working full time with the kids at home. So, you know, I did do it then and I was in the groove, but it did make me appreciate and remember just how difficult that could be sometimes. But I don't think I've got an excuse. So getting back on track. There's probably not much I can do about my petrol that I'm spending. I'm spending a lot of petrol going to and fro, going to dump the dog and at various people's, and mainly at Justin's mum's, because I obviously can't take him to the hospital and I can't leave him here on his own, so it has to be wherever Justin's working, and he works at his mum's. Going down to see my mum, sometimes I've brought her up to the hospital and going back again. You know, things like that have been going on as well, so I don't know what else I can do. I drive quite a small car. I try not to drive like a girl racer. I don't drive like a girl racer. My daughter says I'm a really slow driver. So I think that conserves petrol. If you drive like an idiot, you spend more on petrol, don't you? I have been trying to keep on top of my eBay sales and any other sales I've made on Vinted. As I've gone past the post office, I've been flinging those in. So, but I haven't done very much. I've just about kept on top of my freelance writing this month. Just about. I had 3 pieces to do. I've done nothing on my blog. I have just about kept on top of my weekly YouTube videos. I missed one. So I've kept on top of some of it. Anyway, it just made me think that, you know, it doesn't take much, does it, to get you off track, and I really need to get my head back into gear, be organised, and I will show you some of the past week of what I've been up to, really, just to show you how I was kind of getting better at getting organised as I went along. So I'm just off up the hospital. I'm trying to be organised because me and Justin are actually going out tonight. We've booked the cinema because he got cinema vouchers for his birthday, and we've got Izzy here and she's going to look after the dog. So we're actually going to go out. So I'm trying to be organised with dinner. I'll go to the hospital. I'll be at the hospital quite a lot of the day again, trying to sort out if we can get my dad out and release him, and he's supposed to be having an MRI, what's happening with the MRI. It's all very frustrating, it's very slow. So I got out the Wonder Bag, even though it's the middle of summer and really quite a balmy day. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I've got this Wonder Bag, which I have reviewed in a separate video, and I haven't used it since the winter. It's great for saving on energy bills, but it's also really good if you haven't got a lot of time. I could put a slow cooker on, but honestly, this uses no energy. So I've made a chicken casserole, really basic chicken casserole, just using what we've got. And I'm about to put the lid on. I'll do it up tight, and then when we get back a bit later, that will be all ready to go. Look how huge it is. It gets smaller when I pull it tight. So off we go to the hospital. I'm also taking my own coffee again to the hospital, so I don't have to constantly buy stuff from Costa. Just made an oat milk one. So I do half oat milk and half water. So I'm just going to top it up. And this is a Costa mug that my daughter got Justin for his birthday. I've shown it before, I think. But it's brilliant because it really keeps it hot for ages without having to take a whole flask, because I don't want a whole flask with me. Just want a good mug full. So there you go, take that with me. I'll drop the dog with Justin and then get off to the hospital, and that will still be hot when I get there. Have a look, see if it's done. Oh, steam coming off. Perfect. So a bit of a garden tour. I'll start with the good bit. The courgettes and the squashes. Won't be long for these little yellow ones. And there's some more yellow ones over there. Green ones seem to be a bit slow, but they're also starting, aren't they? Ice cream van. So I've just given everything a good soak. You can see that the kale got eaten, completely eaten. Justin thinks it was the pigeons. I think it could have been. Completely gone. Luckily I have some more down the other end of the garden. So, veggie patch. So, cursed black fly on everything. I'm going to have to go and try and pull it all off by hand in a minute. I've just done the tomatoes. I can't believe I've got black fly on the tomatoes. But yes, not many flowers on that. They're coming, they're coming. Oh, the last few years our runner beans haven't occurred because of the black fly. As you can see, we found a little asparagus bed. I think Justin accidentally dug a load of it up before we discovered it though. So that's that. Got the washing on the line today. Got to take that in a minute. We have some more runner beans down here which also have black fly on them, which is very annoying indeed. But they don't look that bad. They've got more flowers on them anyway. Let's have a look. So we've got a little pyramid here. It's Izzy making my dinner in there. Just watered that. You see we've got a bit of hose system to get us up the garden. Try not to fall arse over tit. I've just put my tomatoes very late into grow bags. Hello Dory. And as I don't know if you can see, because I've wiped a lot of them off. I've just taken a lot of the black fly off those. I can't believe the tomatoes are getting black fly as well. Always trying to trip me up. We have chard which was never weeded and thinned out properly, so it's looking a bit sad, but we're having some tonight for our tea. And look how badly the black fly are affecting the broad beans. So I'm going to go and... We aren't getting broad beans though, and they're nearly ready. And a little bit of kale. It's a bit crowded here. I just shoved a bit of kale in here to start with, but it's very crowded. But I'm glad I did, because we wouldn't have any at all. There's not much there except weeds and a few herbs. More tomatoes. More tomatoes. So 9 plants and one in here, one big one in here, which is already producing fruit. So this one's got black fly as well. It's got some fruit on it, and it's a bit crowded again. These are cucumbers. We only have a little greenhouse. These are aubergines. I think they probably need bigger pots or something. And more aubergines. Oh no, these are peppers. Peppers. Might have to repot those at some point. And I don't know if you can see parsley and a few chives. So it's all been a little bit neglected while Dad's been in hospital. And you know, I'm amazed it's actually doing as well as it is, really. Anyway, so I need to repot those. That's a job. I want to get a minute. And I want to keep them in there, so I can only put them in a big enough pot that they can comfortably fit on this top shelf. A grow bag, I don't think would, this is a bit flimsy, I don't think it would, this shelf would support a very heavy grow bag, so yeah, that's where we are. And it's otherwise looking a bit wild and untidy. I'm never going to have a tidy garden. First broad beans. The black fly, I've tried to get them, but they're pretty good, I think. They'll be fine for tea. So, 4 or 5 days later, after some rain, and we really have some good courgettes coming. Few babies on there. A couple of babies on there. The squashes are still quite small, but there's quite a lot of them on there. Another quick post-hospital dinner. Leftover new potatoes that we cooked the other night. Some spinach out the freezer. Some mushrooms that were looking very, very sad indeed. And a little bit of cheese. And I've got, it's only me here, just microwaved a piece of salmon that I found in the freezer. So that's a quick dinner, just using stuff up. That looks quite nice actually, looking forward to that. Here's Justin, let's go find him. What are you snoozing for? Quick, run!
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. We talk on the phone every night. Love to hear your voice, not sleeping well. And I know that you're right, but you should know it. You've been gone for way too long now. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I will see you soon. If I could lay down beside you, I would. Even if you're gone, I won't forget you. You're all I know, what I need, and that ain't changing. And even if you're gone, I will remember. You're all I know, what I need, and that ain't changing. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and that I... What are you doing?
Hello, silly boy. So I am going to get out in the garden now and do that weeding. That chard is very, very overgrown. I'm going to do the weeding. I'm going to get some soapy water on all of that black fly, which is really driving me nuts. I think it might rain later, so it might wash it off. I am going to get up early tomorrow morning. I don't have to go to the hospital. It's Sunday and lots of my other family members can go, and get to a boot sale and get some bits and pieces. And maybe this evening I will get some stuff. I've got bits and pieces to sell on eBay, get some stuff listed and just try and get my head together a little bit more. I'll do a meal plan as well tomorrow for the week ahead. Meal plan using what we've got. I don't intend to go and do any kind of a big shop. I did a big shop last week, so I will just do top-up shops in the meantime. and just keep on top of it all, really. That is my plan. Just don't be over ambitious. Keep on top of it. Go through all my receipts and see what I've spent. That'll be a bit of a shocker when I go through and see what I've spent on petrol and parking and odd coffees and Marks and Spencer's and that kind of thing. Going to be a bit of a shocker. Anyway, do you find that you can get easily thrown off track and end up spending more, or impulse shopping online? It's so easy to do it online, isn't it? You know, if it was going to the shops, it would be easy to avoid, but when you have a smartphone in your hand, it's not always easy to avoid. Do you have those kind of issues, or are you a stronger willed than me? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, do give me the thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.